arc we have for us?
Alrighty. I have the Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife, also known
Mm-hmm.
as what is this? Toumei Otoko to
So
Sonouchi
Ningen,
Fuufu
Onna.
Naru
Yeah.
Futari.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Dark, have
Yeah.
you seen
So
the
this
Invisible
What?
Man movie
I
Yeah.
certainly have many a times.
with
I also have
what's that
seen
guy's
the
name?
new one,
Kevin Bacon?
the newer
Is it Kevin?
Invisible Man movie too, which was also
Was,
something.
was it Kevin Bacon who was the Invisible Man? I don't know.
I think so, right?
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one where he kills the dog,
Uh,
right?
And it gets turned into a. You see all the muscles at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
But yeah, anyways, back to the manga.
If you guys could have a superpower, would it be invisibility?
No. Like
I'd
if I
probably be,
had to take invisibility,
Give
I
me
wouldn't be like
vulnerability.
angry about it, I guess.
I
But
just take Superman.
Yeah,
Would you have-
yeah,
just,
that's what I would do.
or just like just do like the standard like invulnerability, like sentry level powers or whatever.
And
and then try
vulnerability's lame, Spire. It's either time stop, Invisible Man, or super speed, or teleportation. Don't be. You know that's true.
Those are all pervert
Yeah, yeah,
powers.
yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if you,
Yeah, anyways.
I would like time stop. I will travel anywhere I want.
You could do that by
Yeah,
teleporting.
that one. Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah,
So this
so-
manga original?
I believe so, right? Is this this is a web manga original.
Yes. Yes, yes,
So yeah,
yes,
this
yes,
is
yes.
this is a web manga original. This is being done by Project Number 9. Project Number 9 recently did Senpai wa Tokonoko.
Mhm.
They did obviously the movie. They did the oh my god, what is it? It's just called the Meku MD in English, but like
Oh yeah,
yeah, so
The
they did
doctor,
that.
like detective or whatever.
Yeah, they did that. They did Jakukata. They did the Hikikomori like the vampire one a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, 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 I know what you're talking about. Yes, 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 yes.
So yeah, so this is not a studio that isn't, that's like you kind of like I feel like
Continue.
with them you kind of really don't know exactly what you're going to get, but
Uh-huh.
they could pull out all stops if they really, as they've shown.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is a fantasy romance, technically, but it's also like workplace stuff, and it's like urban fantasy.
Mhm.
This is, I guess, yeah. So I guess like the basic premise of this story is you have our Invisible Man, Akira Tonome, but then you also have working. He is in charge of an investigations agency, so they'll investigate anything of like, he's just basically like a PI.
Mhm.
So his detective agency also employs our other main, Shizuka Yakao, who is a blind human. It also employs Jarashi Luna, who's the furry Beastman character in the art here, and Kikira Daichi, who is the heavier set guy, the stubble and eye bags. Each of them have
Mhm.
like sort of their own quirks about them. Obviously, the Beastman's Beastman, the Invisible Man is invisible, and Yakao is blind, but she also like I don't know if they're I think I would imagine they're trying to play it off as just like the usual enhanced perception type thing.
Yeah, and have like she can because she's blind.
Yeah,
Her
she's
other
not quite
senses are all like
yeah,
so much
she's
better.
not quite yeah, she's not like Daredevil, so to speak. But they do
Mhm.
represent it sometimes as like that sort of being able to visualize things in some ways at certain points.
Mhm.
A lot of this series goes into it's sort of like an episodic thing with the romance tying to or in between the detective cases. They'll
Mhm.
Would you rather
have
be blind or be invisible?
definitely invisible.
Mm.
Definitely
I
invisible.
don't think the blind part itself is not a superpower. I
Would
think.
you rather?
Yeah.
Would you rather be
Oh,
disabled or
I
have a
thought
superpower?
Yeah,
I
would
thought
you
they
rather
all
have
had like
invisibility
superpowers
or
in some way.
no, no.
Oh no! Oh,
No,
Oh.
she's blind, bro.
But the Invisible Man, so the Invisible Man, Kira can turn like his clothes invisible too. Like he can become fully invisible if he really needed to,
Oh,
which
okay,
he does
okay,
from
okay.
time to
That's
time.
good.
Yeah, and he's
oh
also
wait!
not the only
Oh,
invisible person as well. There is like an invisible
I've
woman
been
that
looking at
shows up
the.
at one point.
Sorry, I've been looking at the wrong My Anime List page for a while. This one. Oops.
Invisible. Yeah. So yeah. So there's a lot of episodic stuff. They meet a lot of side characters. They obviously go with a lot of they go through a lot of like detective work. They have
Mhm.
what I think they do a nice balance of in the beginning. They have obviously the what would you call it, the sort of like demi-human type uh the demi-human type trivia stuff for the Invisible Man, obviously, and
Mhm.
also
Right.
for like
Did you
Jirachi
know
Huna.
if you're
There are
invisible,
elves.
they can't see you?
Yeah. No, it's more so like so Akira has like certain things of
So wait, this is the
what would you
second
call it? Like he
Demi-Human series this
turns
season?
oh yeah, it is actually. Technically, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because this is I should say that too. The supporting cast too, it is like full blown like demi-human stuff as well, because there's like a frog guy at one point. You see a lot of beast people in the background and stuff like that. During scenes, there's an owl guy, so on and so forth. And there's elves and stuff too. The They do things like the invisibility impacting when Akira eats, where like when food makes contact with his body, it takes about a second for it to like vanish. So there's a whole bit of him. He has to like put food in his mouth and then he waits a couple of seconds because he's
Wait,
like,
wait,
if
what?
it
waits
would
for
be
what?
rude for it to turn invisible, because he's like, it would be rude for me to start eating and then everyone is able to see like this food getting munched up and like sloshing around in my
I don't know.
mouth effectively.
I think that'd be
Oh,
super
okay, I
cool.
see.
I'd be
Yeah.
into that. I'd be like, hey,
Yeah,
that's
so like
cool.
when he drinks stuff, you can see it like go down his throat.
Oh,
But when
okay,
he
okay,
yeah, and
okay.
that's
Wait,
actually
wait,
like
wait, wait,
a cool detail too, because like he
wait,
can
wait,
Yeah,
wait. Hold
drink
yeah,
on, hold
yeah,
things
on.
okay.
and huh?
Hold on. You said he has to hold it in his mouth for a while before he does anything?
About a
Isn't that
second or
called
two. You see
chewing?
it like fade away. No, he just
Yeah, yeah. It
he'll
No,
like
becomes
take a yeah, he'll like
yeah,
take
it
a
becomes
bite of
part of it.
something, or he'll like touch it to his
That
lips or something.
that's lame. Just let him chew, and then like you'd think that if it's like
Well,
it only takes a second.
that becomes a thing um with Yako since she's blind.
Ah, see, I
You know,
called this
when they're
Right, right,
earlier.
eating
right.
together, she's like, "Well, you could do that in front of me. Like I can't see it anyway."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
On top of that,
that's like kind of like the back and forth banter, like the rom-com kind of part. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then on top of
Just
that, you know,
saying.
it gets into certain backstory stuff of what a sort of like trial or tribulation being an invisible person would be. And sort of like some certain like traumas and stuff that he faced as like a kid and things like that that comes up a little bit. And they even tie that back
Oh, okay,
to
okay, okay.
Yako being blind. Um, and it's
Okay.
Akira finds out like in a restaurant they go to, which is supposed to be like a blind dining experience. So like
Hmm.
they turn out, which is a thing that is done by the way too, where there's like literally no light um, after
Hmm.
they snuff out candles. Um, and he like has a panic attack and doesn't realize that he was even afraid of the dark. And so like that leads to like some development between him and Yako as well.
Does it
It also does get into blindness, like blindness trivia too. Um
yeah.
Obviously there's the census stuff that they do, but they also get into, or not even get into, they don't really even make it much of a thing until later. Later, there's a part where Yako needs to clean her apartment, but obviously she's blind, so she has to have her mom come over and like do a once over and be like, did I drop anything? Did I miss anything? Things like that. But even the way she navigates her house when
Mhm.
she gets back to it, her apartment, I thought was like a really nice touch. Like this author definitely at least
Did
like
the research.
did a good amount of research because she
Yes,
she
yes, yes,
brushes
yes.
her like the top of her hand across her wall until she finds like the rest of her furniture and everything. um
Hmm.
on top of that, when she doesn't have company over her house, like she doesn't turn her lights on.
Hmm.
So like even something small like that I thought was really cool. There's certain things of accessibility stuff that they get into of her digital watch like vibrates to tell the time to her.
Oh, okay,
There,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And as someone after my own heart, she listens to audiobooks at about like 5 times speed, which I thought was a really
Hell
funny
yeah.
bit.
Mhm.
That's how I watch Kanade streams. Two times speed.
2x speed.
Can,
Yeah.
can I also ask, so is just a quick tangent, is most of the series hyper focused on just the two and like the whole like kind of the supernatural aspects of obviously autonomy, and then um the uh these blind aspects, or like having to deal with the blind aspects, right? For Yako, is it, or Shizuka, I guess Yako Shizuka, is that the hyper focus, or obviously because there are other supporting characters, right? Especially the Beast Woman, um, do they get a lot? Do they get a decent amount of screen time where
Yeah,
they're
the
going through
supporting
their
cast gets
trials
a
and tribulations, or
yes.
what?
So there's a lot of character interaction between the main four in the office, but it also
Okay.
does bounce back and forth. Kikita gets his backstory. You find out that he's what is it in episode 5? Like it's not really. I mean, it's a spoiler, but like, who gives a shit, right? Like the whole thing is
Mhm.
that he reveals at one point that he is married, and his but he specifically says partner, so you kind of get like, oh, okay, he's probably gay. And then they introduce this lawyer character who then reveals like, yeah, no, that's my husband. And so then they have a whole
Oh, okay,
episode of
okay.
them. They have, or like a half episode backstory of
Hmm.
them, and it bounces between Kikita as this more sullen character, and then his husband Kosuke is a very bubbly type character, almost
Mm.
almost like
Mm.
a what you would expect, not quite as animated, but very near what you would expect from almost a Miyano Mamoru type character. Yeah, right.
Hmm.
And yeah, so like they kind of bounce around. I would say the character that kind of has gotten the least amount so far has been Jarashi Luna, the
Hmm.
Beastman character. She has gotten sort of the least amount of solo character stuff, but her gimmick is more so she is the more, what would you call it, easygoing or like crass type character,
Hmm.
or not
Hmm.
crass, a more laid back
Relax.
and
Yeah, relax.
not
Chill.
even really relaxed, more so because she's like the muscle for the detective agency.
Wait, the
The
blind
muscle
chick?
brain.
Wait,
No,
who?
the Beast Girl is the muscle. The blind
Oh,
She's like the
Yako.
warrior and the dungeon
oh, that would
crawler,
be
like
so
the
sick if
Yeah,
muscle
she
brain.
was
Yako
if
is
she was like a blind swordsman.
yeah, Kikita seems to be the sort of like finances and Excel-ish guy. Yako is
Mhm.
the like client intake, and then Jadashi is the muscle, and then obviously the
Mhm.
Invisible Man Akira is the detective, and does make use of his abilities. And like I said, like they get into even more stuff. Like Akira gets into invisible people needing to own a license to be able to fully mask themselves in public. Because
Right.
obviously they're like that could cause a lot of issues. But he does, it does also come with the downsides of, if you fully mask yourself in public, him constantly having people bump into him, almost getting into accidents like while he's trying to do investigations, things like that. So yeah, it gets into a
Right.
lot of that. You know, you even get expanded stuff. There's like elf. There's a whole elf thing with this like tea shop thing. And obviously like a lot of this is very heavy romance, very heavy relationship development. A lot of
So what?
character
So
interaction
what's the
stuff.
balance? So what's the sort of balance of screen time then? Because obviously there's a heavy romance aspect of this, right? Um, there's also a heavy like mixed sort of in with that romance. There's whole like again trials and tribulations of being an invisible man versus being blind versus you know whatever else, right?
I
And
would
on
say it's
top of
roughly
that, they have
50-50 of like what you
they
would
have
expect
like the
from the
detective stuff,
romance.
right?
Yeah.
So
So
how
like
much
I would say
of that all comes
it's
in?
probably 50-ish with the agency stuff and the romance. Like the detective stuff is usually
Okay.
like it is very only meant to push things along. Maybe it's about like 30
Hmm,
70 with the romance and like the slice of life stuff being
right.
about 70%,
That's sort of what I expected
right?
almost. Yeah.
Yeah. Like for example, there's an Invisible Woman case where they pretty much resolve it in like 3 minutes or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
its only purpose there is to have a moment of Akira of Yako noticing Akira getting really like upset, really pissed off at seeing like another invisible person face discrimination due to their ability to turn
So
invisible. Like she gets accused of being a
so
thief.
can invisible people see other invisible people? Is that what we're getting at?
No, no, actually I meant to even mention that in the first episode is established Akira literally cannot see himself. And so it even gets into that where in some cases it is a disability in that Akira gets injured at one point, like he gets cut, and the only reason he can and he's like I can't tell how bad the wound is from looking at it because I can't see it. Like I can only see what you see, which is like 3 scratches
That's
and
kind
it's
of interesting.
bleeding. Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting too, where he can't see himself, so that in and of itself also comes with anxieties and other things. And of course there's even like certain they do even certain tongue-in-cheek like comedic things that I won't get into with sort of his quirks that you get in like certain shows with invisible people. They even have it in My Hero Academia and stuff like that, like what embarrasses an invisible person.
Hmm.
And that stuff's really fun too.
Right.
Yeah. So overall,
Oh,
like I think all of that is handled exceptionally well. I think it's really fun. It doesn't make a big deal, sense of obviously it has a lot of the trivia stuff with the accessibility things and with the invisible man stuff and with the expanded cast. It is trivia, but there is a lot of it that it kind of doesn't been treat as trivia. Like there is a lot like small things that I was bringing up earlier with Yako navigating her apartment, stuff like that. It does a lot of that without directly treating it like a trivia moment, which I think is really cool. Even in the early episodes too, or just whenever a
what do
character
you mean
will
by
interact
not
with
directly treating it like a trivia moment?
for example, I'll give you another example. Like it won't stop the show to be like or do like a cut in thing with chibi characters or something
Oh,
like
like
that.
highlight
And
it.
things
It
like that.
doesn't
Yeah,
like
yeah, it
go like,
won't
oh,
highlight it.
this is happening,
It
guys.
just
Yeah, yeah.
goes. It just introduces you to
I
this and
see.
is like, this
Uh,
is how this day goes, right? For
yes,
example,
yes.
like if someone takes something from Shizuka or borrows something and they put it back,
Yeah. It
the
doesn't do
sh-
like a
the
slow
show
down.
does take a moment
Yeah.
to literally make
Yeah.
it a point to have other characters go, I put your phone back down to the left of your computer.
Uh-huh.
And there's a certain
Uh-huh.
scene like where a character might forget and then they have to stop themselves and say before they leave, like, oh yeah, I put this in this spot. And stuff like that. And I think
Yes.
that's really cool too.
Yes.
I think not
Mhm.
having doing trivia as a free flow through the slice of life and going through the day, I think is really neat, and I like that they aren't doing those sorts of cut-in stuff. obviously, like, there are certain things where characters will talk to each other and explain certain things to each other. But even then, it does avoid doing the sort of like diagram trivia type stuff with like two chibi characters. Like they'll be explaining it to each other in a very natural setting. And it doesn't stop the momentum of the show at all either.
Yeah. I think that's like really obviously I think there are some series where it's like because you're focusing on the trivia that hard, like they do need to like highlight it here and there and everywhere
Oh
all the
yeah,
time.
and depending on the series too, like something like Rui no Hoseki or whatever, like that does need to start getting into diagrams and sciences and stuff like that. But I think when something is as where something's trivia is focused on, you know, the day-to-day lives of someone.
Yeah. Culture,
living
behavior,
with
that
this.
sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
living
yeah.
with these type. I think this is done extremely well.
Yeah.
The romance aspect of it too is kind of what you would I mean, I think it's handled better than a lot of more haphazard romance series. I think the writing for this is very adult in a lot of ways. The backs and forths between Akira and Yako are very, I don't want to say natural, obviously, because it is like very hammed up. It is very a very romance oriented series, but they do have more conversations about stuff. You know, they don't play it all. It's not like it's a what you would expect from like a high school romance in an adult cast, right? It is much more of an adult romance development. And you know, even hints and discussions of them going further and further with their relationship, whether that be something like more physical touching, whether that be, you know, just a more serious relationship of how they refer to each other.
Right.
And like obviously like the whole like, you know, they do the whole marriage thing and stuff like that, back of the mind things when Akira meets her mom and things like that. So obviously like it gets into that. I think it handles it really well. I think the discussions between characters are really nice. And yeah, and I think they handled the expanded cast very well too. I think they managed to balance stuff very, very well, especially with the amount of characters they have. I think they do it very well.
Right.
This is a really, really fun cast.
Okay.
As far as I guess audio visuals go, I'll go over some of the voice cast. Akira, the Invisible Man, is voiced by Yohei Azakami. Know him.
How can there be visuals if one's invisible and one's blind? Haha.
Yeah. And I'll actually get into some of that with the audio visuals as well. I feel like that is more appropriate for that, more so than just the general. But yeah, Akira is voiced by, like, you'll probably know him, like, most recently was Rich from Mercury, Jeter Ghoul, pink-haired, the pink and brown-haired guy. He's the main for Nier series. He's Xylo for Bart's. Obviously, he's an ensemble star guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very main character guy, and he is doing his most handsome man voice he possibly can.
He's Ikemen coded. His
Oh
whole
yeah, 100%.
doing male idol anime, voice.
Yeah, Yako. Yeah, Yako is Shizuka is voiced by Yuka Nui. He is most recently, let's see, her recent stuff in. Oh, she was the main girl from Yano-kun. Is a supporting character in Turn Fate. Fake.
Oh, she's the main girl in Sugar Fairy. What was it? The Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, which I also did cover. It's like the no,
Right.
the one. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh, she's also in Ensemble Stars. Wait, what? Is she playing? Maybe she plays like a younger version of this guy, I guess, and that's why they're crediting it. Because
Probably, yeah.
yeah, he has two. Yeah, he has two Japanese credits, so it must be like a
Mm.
younger flashback or something.
Mm.
Yeah, he's also in. Yeah, either way, you know, she has a
Mhm.
lot of supporting roles, and then,
Yeah.
but she does a very very good job being more airy. Actually, no, I should take that back. She does an amazing job bouncing between both the airy, lovey-dovey ish voice character and
Mhm.
also the panicking, almost Bocchi the Rock level screeching, um,
Ah.
which she will do at times, and yelling, uh,
Mhm.
internally, especially in like especially in internal stuff, and also when she gets flustered and does yelps and stuff. She does a very good job wrecking her voice uh, to sort of depict the panic in the character.
Right.
And yeah,
Okay.
and I think she does a very good job. Let's see. Jarashi Luna is Riho Sugiyama.
Yeah.
Let's
Pretty
see.
common name, or
Yeah,
name that we've heard a decent amount of times, I think.
yeah, she does usually like huskier voices, a lot of male characters,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, she's doing like a slightly huskier voice for Luna.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kikura Daichi is Masaya Fukunishi. He's doing like a gravelier, serious voice for this character, so kind of what you would expect from him. I would say like a little bit more sullen, a little bit more gravelier than recently he's been doing Kafka of Great. And then I guess the only other one that's like super worth mentioning. Well, actually, no, there's two more. There's the Dark Elf, who's a much more bubblier character who his whole shtick is he likes to butt into other people's romantic endeavors and likes you know, he's like the shopkeeper that wants to get all the details.
Right.
Tomohiro Ono, who's doing a really good job at that as well. And then I guess last but Kosuke, Kikita's husband, who's being voiced by Enoki Junya, and he,
Yeah. And Virginia is also good too.
yeah, Itadori Yuji of Jujutsu Kaisen, and from beyond that, you can kind of just go down his list as the prolific main in 7 million.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously, great job by everyone here.
Mhm.
Really do amazing work bringing the characters to life. The visuals are genuinely shocking how much I kind of adore these. I think they've been adapted exceptionally well. I
You
think
mean character
they
models themselves, or just like the overall?
everything. The character modeling is very fun, especially with a lot of the more characters. But the designs for them, relation for them has been really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like being swept up by this series. Maybe it's not as crazy as I think it is, but their ability to depict Akira has been really good. The body language and
It kind of
adjustments they've
reminds me
done
of
is great,
yeah.
and even the like cuz you know, obviously rendering a full character is difficult, but at the same time, they're also not skimping out and being like, "Oh, well, he's an invisible man, so we could kind of get away with stuff." It's like, nope. Their body language and the clothing adjustments of him have been really detailed and really well detailed. And obviously, the
Yeah.
internal clothed rendering too that you can see through him has been done very well. And
You know those like drawing tutorials where they're like, if you have clothes in this position, like you would you like it's different because you would have the body pose in these positions, or it's like if you have the body pose in this position, you need to show that clothes like drawn like this because else it looks kind of fake. It's like that, but in reverse, where it's like
yeah,
they're trying to be like, okay, the body's in this pose, so the clothes have to be drawn like this, right? Kind of.
yeah, yeah. So I would love to see the behind the scenes work on this because of that. And yeah,
Mhm.
like I said, they did a great job. The backgrounds and a lot and some of the environments and just some of it in general. It's not really shown well in this art that I chose here, but it is very almost there's some stuff that is almost watercolory, but not maybe like coloring book-ish type stuff or
Oh, I understand.
certain things have like a texture almost like construction paper looking stuff, which is really cool.
Mhm.
And yeah, so they did a great job with that. They do a great job with scenes of showing like Shizuka's internal monologues, but then they also do a great job at showing her what would you call it, like her way of quote unquote like seeing the world at certain points. Thought they did a
Her
really good
perspective,
job.
right?
Yeah,
Instead of
her
yeah.
perspective, which they don't do too much because again they don't want to make it. They definitely don't want to make her seem like she's fucking Daredevil. But the
Yeah, yeah,
certain
yeah,
things
yeah.
they do with that is really cool. She has an internal
Because
image
because like
of
she is like her own being, like at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah. And so like when she's thinking about something, they'll show a they'll show Akira and then they'll have his expression in this like smoky translucent guy, but like you can make it out like what sort of demeanor he's in. And so like
Mhm.
that's how she is envisioning him because she can technically make out certain things about him, right? Like especially now, they've kissed, their relationship has expanded to the point where she cannot it's not really so much she's making out a face, but she can get sort of the gist, right?
Right.
And so a lot of that's been really cool. The bouncing between
Okay.
it's not really like a chibi, there is a little bit of a chibi blobbier style they do sometimes and they bounce back and forth and they adapt each
Mhm.
character very well. There's a lot of really good slapstick-ish type scenes between Kikita and Luna where they animate them really nicely in this like in sort of less detailed style, and it's really cute. There are
Mhm.
times when they decide to fucking turn the dial up to 11 and for almost no reason whatsoever. And they're like, yeah, this scene's gonna have like fucking, I don't know, like 700 frames, sure, for this one cut. Why not? It's like, it's a fun. There's one where I'm gonna try and find to send to you, well, or timestamp it, where what is it? It's just a very simple scene where Kikuta's husband is talking to Akira and they're kind of bonding and he does this like snapping his finger towards him pose and the way they like depicted it, I was like, you did not need to angle
You talking about the
you
one I'm looking at right now?
are you looking at where he like snaps his
Yeah,
finger towards him?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what? Yeah, like they did not need to do that, but they did. Um, and yeah, just scene to scene, like a lot of the detail is very very nice, and a lot of the character
Mhm. Yeah, it's pretty clean. Yeah,
motions
yeah,
are
yeah.
really clean. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
definitely not what I expected because this is like I didn't think it would have like the budget and the team that it would, right?
Yeah,
From
absolutely.
what I
Especially for this studio, I think this is probably Project Number Nine's best looking series they've ever done, which is
hmm
interesting. But I couldn't really be happier, honestly, with
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because it's really fun. It's really good. There's a lot of really good scenes, comedic scenes with Shizuka that she gets animated almost like a almost like an Onimai type scene where they like really simplify like her mouth and her eyes, um, and kind of have like limbs basically detaching when she's frantically.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think what else? OPED. The OPED are very very fun. The opening is Ding Dong by Mao
Like King
Abe.
Kong.
not
True.
not quite that. It's this very fun little. What would you even describe it as? Did you guys see the OP when I linked it earlier? Like almost like a folky
Yeah.
acoustic.
Like storybook.
It's like orchestral tunes, but then you have on top of it, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. So it almost reminds me of a Hisone Tumasate. But no, not no. What is it? Hakame Tumakochi? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Oh
Hakume
yeah.
Tomikochi,
Yeah,
yes.
Tumakochi. Yeah,
The one with
it's
like a small
very
yes, yeah.
yes. It's very that type of that vibe. And then
I see what you're going with, yes.
the ending is Hoshi Megane by Kaori Hara. I did not link that. Let me see if I can find it. But that is also very fun. It's like a sketchbook for part of it type thing.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
it's
I see.
yeah, it's just like overall it's a very very cool ED. Very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't really
I
know
So
guess
who do
much
you
else to
think?
say
overall,
about this without
So
rambling too much.
so
yeah.
Dark. How strong is their power level? You would say.
I mean, brute
All right.
strength, Luna's obviously strong, and there are
No,
obviously
I mean
other characters that are strong.
in the list of invisible people, how strong is this invisible man?
Oh,
Yeah.
Could he beat Kevin Bacon?
oh, I think so, 100%, because he can like extend his invisibility, right?
Mm.
It doesn't work on other organic or rather other animate objects. They kind of do hand wave bullshit it with his explanation, where he's just like, yeah, it doesn't work on. It only works on like inanimate objects, but he could project his invisibility to like items he's holding and stuff too. So
And so
But yeah.
and what about the blind chick? How strong is she on the list of blind chicks?
she's probably stronger a little bit stretching. Well, not even stretching. She's just like, she's got shit under wraps. She's probably see, I don't even they're playing with it. They're playing with it a little bit when they go with the her listening
Right, she's
ability
not like
because
those
they
Sakura
do
before
but
Yoga Tenkai kind of
yeah,
levels, but
I don't think that they record.
yeah.
I don't know if they recorded real audio because it's so fast and it's Japanese for when they like do the gimmick of her listening to things. But it is
Mhm.
literally like 5 or 6x speed. Like it is unintelligible for like a normal person.
You're saying
And
she's
so
listening to those videos of like the Bible in the left ear and then
Yeah,
like the
Bible left
fucking
ear.
Yeah,
Chinese
the
like
Chinese language on the other ear.
yeah and the
Yeah,
right ear.
she is fucking ascending.
But
she
it's
so
like
can
the
she
way
beat
she sees them is like you know how the cyberpunk edge runners had like the Sandovis and like the rainbow kind of like shifting when the
Yeah,
fight scene happened initially, and you
she's not
saw
like
it's
finding
like
people by like
she hears
slowing
that.
down time in her mind. She does
Yeah,
get that there,
exactly.
like I said, to be able to find, obviously since she doesn't use sight, the other gimmick is she can
Mhm.
quote unquote find Akira when he fully like goes full invisible. But she can still,
Mm.
technically see him because she can hear his movements, she can like smell him, she can sense roughly where he is, stuff like that. And so they do, like I said, they gave her daredevil vision for that, like that scene. Just to
Okay.
so you're saying she could beat Satoichi then?
no.
We need to. I think we need to. All right. I think we do need to move on. But before we head out, can you give us the overall rating of the series.
Yeah, just to gush about this series a little bit more.
Mhm.
This series will like it is I am going to be it is going to be hard pressed for me to both find a series that I'm going to think this year is and obviously like this is saying this shit early, but
Mhm.
it'll be difficult for me I think to find another series that would fit under either going to be underrated or best
Mhm.
pleasant surprise, right?
Right, for
Um
sure.
yeah, especially like this is also a directorial debut for someone who's done like what is it? Key
Oh,
animation on
okay,
a
okay.
couple different things and
Mhm.
script for Futari solo camp. So this is also a pretty newcomer too.
Mhm.
Because as far as their credits
Yeah,
go, it
yeah,
only
yeah.
goes back to 2019 for like certain key anime. And then they're just
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah, that's not bad. Yeah.
yeah, just like boom, direct this. Obviously, I'm not familiar with the source material that much, but like directing for this is absurdly good for this stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
pretty
making sure they
pretty
kept in all the
wild.
details. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild. First showing here.
Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Then
and yeah,
again,
so as far as my rating would go, um, I mean, I would say like it's sitting at a 7.3 on Mall. I think like a strong 7.5 would be okay. Personally, I would give this like I don't know, like an 8 if you want a romance series, like a 9 even, because
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, if specifically for romance stuff,
again,
yeah.
like this isn't like obviously again, this is not like ascending, go over how I give tens like constantly. A bunch of us usually like give out 10. But this is something where I would strongly recommend anyone who would be even remotely interested in a series that has demi-human type trivia and has like a cute romance through line and relationship development stuff like that. Like 100%
Mhm.
check this out. Like check this
Yeah,
out. I would recommend this beyond this season. So that's why it's like I would easily go with like an 8 or a 9 for this. Because
yeah.
for someone who's looking for this, this is immediately a recommendation for me from me.
Yeah, especially since for people who think it's just gonna be, I think the main thing is gonna be people are just gonna be like, oh, it's just like a small rub. It's gonna be like one of those um, like some of the stuff I cover, right? Like the Yuki Otoko, like the
Yes,
ice like man,
do
and like
not
people just think it's gonna be that,
let
but it's
yeah.
definitely a
This
little
is
bit bigger.
kind of like one of those series, but done pretty
Better.
much perfectly, right?
Mhm.
Like exactly like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
you would really want it to
yeah,
sell you
yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Do not let the other shitty cover art
yeah.
deceive you. Where I mean, it's not
Mhm.
even shitty. It's just like it makes it look like slop. It makes it look like what are
It's like,
those
oh, they're
smut
monster
series?
girls
What are
in the
those
office kind
seasonal?
of thing. Yeah.
No. There's a worse one where what are those what are what's that studio that always puts out like the one smut series every now and then? They did like the firefighter one and then they did like the monk
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
one
yeah. I know what
and
you're
stuff like
talking
that.
about. I keep, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like tell me this cover art where it's like this doesn't look like oh this is a smut series about an invisible man. Like
Are you linking the stud man thing? Oh,
no, I'm linking one of the other cover arts for it that I just like this was the first one that introduced me to it and I literally thought this was just going to be
yeah.
a bullshit
You
smut
mean the
series.
ATX animes? Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
I'm like I'm getting that kind of vibe here. But that's not what it is. I think the cover that I use is far more appropriate. Um
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and far more fitting. So yeah, 100% would recommend. Would recommend this if this is not even
Yeah,
really truly in your wheelhouse. If you want something that's a really cute watch, a really easy watch, something really really chill.
yeah.
Yeah, this was
All
definitely not
right.
something that I thought was going to be making lists at the end of the year, but this is going to be a hard one to force off of certain parts.
Yeah. And
certain
again,
things.
it's better to have it be a pleasant surprise than, obviously the other way around. So I'm glad again you found this. And again, this is The Invisible Man and his soon to be wife, also known as Toumei Otoko to Ningen Onna. Sonouchi Fuufu ni naru Futari. So not just your regular kind of, oh, there's a dude or there's like a female, say, protagonist or hero, and then there's a bunch of like otherworldly beings in the office, and she just deals with them in like a comedic or rom-com sort of way one episode at a time. It's a little bit more than that. It's definitely upgraded. Does a lot of like small detail, the devil's in detail kind of vibes, and gets those kind of correct with regards to the trials and tribulations of these various supernatural beings, and the humans involved as well. So if you want kind of like a taste of that, please do check this out.